Hello everyone, welcome to my new video. And today in this video we are going to discuss about Linux FU scripting for binary files. So without wasting our time, let's start the session. Linux FU scripting for binary files. If you anytime need to write a binary book from a normal language like C, it isn't all that complicated to do. In regards to the affliction issues, you might have to connect content with attempts to false line endings across home Windows and Linux, but there's constantly a way to show that off if it is on by way of default. Although when you are using some class of scripting language, by default file assist might be just a little greater complicated. One response is to use a device like XXD or TV text to binary to deal with the details. When you could discover the code for the GTB and GitHub together with pre-built binaries for a lot of structures. Be sure you able to deploy XXD out of your equipment repository. This equipment engages very distinctive method. You may be widespread with tools like OD or Hexdump for bearing clear representations of bifold files. The XXD device can really do the same element, even though it is T as flexible. What XXD may also reverse itself so that it can rebuild a binary file from a hex dump. It creates whatever thing other tools can't do. The TB device takes a whole lot of diverse strategies. You challenge instructions to it that factor it to put in writing a unusual hex file. Each of these approaches concepts some benefits if you are modifying a bifold file in scripting accent. XXD makes a super experience that you can convert the book to text procedure it, after which roll it lower back to bifold the use of a one program in spite of this. If you are creating a bifold file from Blemish, the TB software has some advantages too. I determined to jot down a couple of test scripting and use bash to exhibit the way it all works. These aren't production scripts, so they receive be as accustomed as they could be, but there isn't any motive they could not be made as potent as you are willing to make them. I was determined to put in writing two shell scripts. One will accomplish an image file. I cheated in two approaches there. First, I picked the ppm transportable portraits map structure, which is awfully basic to actualize, and second is unnoticed the layout that makes use of ASCII in its place of bifold. That's not strictly cheated since it doesn't make a bigger file as you had predicted. So there's an important improvement to using the bifold layout. The different calligraphy takes a file in the same structure and reduces the color ethics within it through bisected. The biggest both tools considering that the primary job is generating a big picture book from information, and the done is processing an image book and autograph out a brand new one. I'll use TV for the primary job and XSD for the second. The PPM structure is a component of a file family unit of portrait codecs from the 1980s. They are very primary to assemble and deconstruct, although they are not familiar with being small, despite the fact that in case you necessary to actualize an image from a Raspberry Pi software. It is from time to time convenient to actualize the usage of the simple book layout and then consume Image Magic or some other devices to convert to a nicer layout like PNG. There are there are basically three editions of the format, one for black and white, one for grayscale, and a further for color. In addition, every one of them can contain ASCII records or bifold statistics. There's a very primary header which is all the time in ASCII. We will simplest fret about the color structure. The header will open with the string P that always ends with a new line. Youngsters, defensively, you have to permit for any white space character to the conclusion, the tag fields, then the X and Y band. In decimal and nonetheless in ASCII, a pair FR with the aid of white space. Here is constantly truly a space and a new line on the end. The next part of the attack is yet another ASCII decimal value indicating the maximum cost for the color accessories in the picture. After that, the records are bifold RGB red echo friendly dejective triplets. Incidentally, if the P has been a P, everything would continue to be equal. However, the RGB triplets could be in ASCII now, not binary. This could be convenient in some instances, but as I mentioned, will result in a bigger book. Maximum cost for the color accessories in the picture. After that, the records are bifold RGB red echo friendly dejective triplets. Everything would continue to be equal. However, the RGB triplets could be in ASCII now, not binary. This could be convenient in some instances, but as I mentioned, will result in a bigger book. The grid text represents hex numbers, and the different containers include ASCII characters, which you could see the primary bytes are header, and afterwards that it is all image information. The TB program takes loads of commands to generate each achievement that you would be able to write a string or a lot of sizes of integers, which you could also do things like repeat achievement a given number of times and alike select what to achieve ability according to situations. There is the means to address variables and alike macros. For instance, my calligraphy will write out a picture with 3 color bars in it. The background should be atramentuous with a white border. The color bars will immediately space to healthy. The container I received used lots of the TV elements, but I did like the usage of the macros to accomplish the and using output easier to study. Here is the chip for creating the header with comments delivered. strlp hashtag address p adopt by means of a new line, no prices, obligatory as a result of no white space in the code. That's all there is to be it. The RGB triplets exhaust U command. Despite the fact you could like employ a bit command too. I additionally installed some macros for the colors I acclimated. After getting the TV accent bottom word, the rest is only algebraic. You can discover the complete code on GitHub. However, you'll see it simply computes actualized sized areas and draws distinctive coloring as it runs, via each and every pixel is a nested set of loops. There is also one pixel wide border across the edge for no good reasons. If you happen to want to run the code, you could either specify the x and y coordinates or assume the x absence in case you interrupts the outputs earlier than the TV software. You will see the instruction rolling out of the script. Here is the default output to the ppm file. The different calligraphy is a little distinct. The purpose to bisect the entire color values in a ppm book in half. If it had been simply bifold statistics, that would be effortless sufficient. However, you should bypass the attack in order no longer to he use it. That takes a bit of extra assignment. I use GNU AWK to accomplish the work a bit simpler. The AWK code conveniently skips the tackle, after which pulls as much as gadgets from a band of data. The primary assignment is to count the number of white space characters to pass over the attack. I made the belief that there would now not to be runs of white space youngsters. A better application would doubtless eat dissimilar areas handy. To fix after that, every byte receives disconnected and is reassembled. This assignment is extra character oriented and AWK doesn't address characters neatly without a trick. In particular, I use the cut up command to convert the present band into an array with each factor absolute a character. This means any white space characters as a result of I use an empty code because of the cut up delimiter. After processing the array, which isn't tough to do, that you could build a new string again like this. Here is a great example of how the Unix philosophy makes it feasible to construct equipment that is improved than the sum of its ingredients. And easy application adjustments. A text processing language like AWK into a binary file manipulation accent top notch. Incidentally, in case your conception of manipulating bifold in Intel Hex or Motorola S data, be certain to take a look at the SREC-CAT and related software that could dispense those two. Upon getting an agglomeration of binary data, you could admire a webhex editor. Incidentally, a couple of years in the past, I mentioned using OD2 method bifold info in AWK. That's still official of the path. However, XSD allows you to go both techniques, which is much more beneficial. That's all for today. If you like my video, share it and also comment in my comment section if you have any queries. So, and also subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.